All right. So thank you very much for joining us. It's great to have you here. Eventually got hold of you. So,
Yes.
and tell me something. How long have you been coaching at the Burger?
Okay. It's about 2 years now. I've started last year
Okay.
after I realized that the rugby is not well active. I'm a sports person myself, a sports fanatic. So when I got there, I thought, I mean, you cannot have Hoerskool Burger without rugby. I was joking with the principal the other time to say, man, come on, Wolf. Can't have Hoerskool Burger and you don't have rugby. Look at these cabinets and all these decorated rugby accolades and all that. So we need
Yes.
to get the rugby back, and
Mm.
he agreed to it. So last year we slowly started to kind of rebuild and revamp it and bring it back to life.
Nice. All right. Erno?
Yeah.
Erno?
Yes, I would just like to ask Mr. Mashabala. Um, you said that rugby were not really such a strong thing at the school. So
Yes.
you said maybe then you had some strategy because to get the boys interested. And I don't know if
Yeah.
there were still some players who might have played it, but how did you go about, and how do the boys respond to your attempt to get the sport started again?
Yeah. I think what I did as well was to get some of the alumni guys who used to be at Berger before. I got some guy, he lives around Newlands, which is where I live, around the area, not far from White Ridge.
Mhm.
Mr. Johan van der Berg used to be an old boy at the Berger. Fortunately, his wife was a teacher there at a school, so through her, I brought him in as well,
Okay.
and one other coach so that we can get the boys excited. But
Oh,
most of all, I think the approach was discipline. To say if you
yeah,
participate in sport, it plays an important role and impact into the discipline. As
yeah,
well, you are not found loitering around and wandering around the school grounds, not doing anything. But at least if you are participating in sports, which is rugby in this case,
yes,
you occupy yourself and there are opportunities as well out there that may find you if you participate in sport over and above enjoying the game and aiming at winning, but there are plenty of opportunities, especially in
true.
the sport rugby and all that. So that was our approach that we took to say, okay guys, instead of during break you are just wandering up and about. The Burger has a huge land. It's, I think, about 18 hectares. So they'd wander around and moving. Instead of doing that, why not come and try it?
Yeah,
If you're happy, well and good. If you don't know, there are coaches that they'll take you through. They'll take you through the sport, discipline, and all that. You'll be taught everything necessary that you need to be taught.
Mm.
And we're still looking for more coaches as well from the alumni guys. That is guys that were at the Burger before. We had two that visited our school last week and promised to come and see us sometime this week.
Mm.
Maybe to try and help and see how best we can put the Burger back to the map. Was it used to be one of the competitive schools in
Yes.
their own league and level. So I think the last cup was in 20, a long time ago, more than 10 years. So we want to bring those glory days as well, and fun and sport participation.
Yes. All right. Steve?
wow. Yeah, it's incredible how schoolboy rugby has grown over the past years. I remember when I was, without giving my age away, myself and Louis, when we were in school in the late 90s, it wasn't really a common thing for schools to buy other school players. Nowadays, it's the big schools they tend to buy rugby players left, right, and center. So it's always a
Yeah.
challenge. It's always a challenge for your smaller schools then to compete against money. It's basically money against schools that doesn't always have those funds. If you would like to
Absolutely.
if you have a specific message for the community to get involved, what would your message be? How would you like the community to get involved at Hoerskool Burger?
My message would be it takes a village to build a child. If we
Yes.
come together as community, the times that we live in are not the same as the times back then. But if we
Yeah.
can come together as communities to
True.
nurture and groom these young ones so that they excel in sport. So participation from the community would be very valuable because as community members, they'll be part of a process and a journey to
I agree.
see a child grows, to see a child develops, to see a child excels, and to see a child being exposed to opportunities and becoming something, maybe even becoming a springbok at some day. You would
Yes.
never know when opportunity locates. So community would be very much appreciated if there would be part of this journey to bring back the Burger rugby, to bring back Burger to its glory days, to make
Yeah.
Burger great again, to be a sporting institution, especially in rugby. So would implore and of course invite all community members to join us as we aim at keeping our kids away from any possible notorious activities. By participating in sports, it occupies most of their time because there's
Yeah.
practice time, there's game time, there's meeting time, so they won't have much time to be wandering in the streets. So it will be an opportune time, especially for our surroundings, which is Newlands, White Ridge,
Mhm.
Westbury. We have Westbury kids from Westbury, Sophia Town, New Claremont, Bergspron, as far as Florida. As we know, those communities at times they are engaged in violent activity and
Yeah.
guns and all and groups and all that. But with them, with the kids participating in sports, especially in rugby, it will refocus their thinking. It will leave no room for them to think of other activities that they might engage to, because a wandering mind, it's just a devil's playground.
True.
You get small whisperings to say, "Hey, you have spare time now. Why don't you try that?" But if you use that time to something constructive like rugby and sports, you
Mm.
won't have that time to have a wandering mind and all that. So I would implore community to really join us as we try to build rugby in the school and sports at large.
Right.
Awesome.
Good. And um, with the other interviews that we've had so far, I always ask the coaches the same question. So during a rugby game, where do you like to stand at the field? Or do you sit in the stands? Do you stand next to the field? Do you sit behind the post? Where are you during a game?
I usually we don't have booths, but we do have an upstairs. We do have a clubhouse,
Okay.
which
Okay.
has a glass, yeah, which has a glass window looking into the pitch.
Okay.
I like sitting there because I believe that during the game, necessary training and instructions have been given, necessary preparations and all that.
Mm.
We will shout there and there instruction, one, two, and all that, but the boys, not putting pressure on them, but letting them to express themselves fully on the ground
Right.
and to execute whatever that we have done in practices
Right.
and in the training.
Right. Right. Edmund?
I would just like to ask you something. Say I'm a boy now, a young boy, and I come to your classes. I've heard there's a game like rugby, but I don't really know this game. But
Yes.
I've seen it, but maybe, yeah. But I now see why will I play rugby? I think because my friends play. So, but I'm now coming to you and I ask you, please, I want to play this game. What will you do? What will you teach me the rules first? Will you take me to the ground, rugby pitch and show me what I must do? How do you teach the new students who come to you?
Okay, new students, new players that join rugby, I think it's very important to first orientate them about the discipline of the game,
Mm.
what the game is all about, what the game entails, and what the game is, and just a little orientation about the game in its broader entirety, like how the game is played, how to score a try, what's the formation, what positions are there, and all that. And then tell them that this is a gentleman's sport. It's a
Yeah.
physical sport. Bring that conscious to them that it is a physical sport, but we don't fight unnecessarily. It is a gentleman's game. After game, we shake hands as gentlemen,
True.
even if it was tough on the pitch with all those tackles and rucks and all that, rucks and mauls and all that. But and then we take them through. Then we take them to the pitch to say, okay, just touch a ball. Here's a rugby ball. Just try to
Yes.
swing it. Let's see if you can pass it. And then we start running and all that to get into the groove, but we encourage them to participate. We don't yell at them if they don't get it right the first time. We journey with them, we move with them, so that once they get comfortable and then they can get feel of the ball and the swing and all that, then now maybe we become more physical and more technical with them.
Okay.
Okay,
Steve?
thanks.
Schoolboy rugby is all about derbies. Any school's
Yeah,
got
absolutely.
it's got a rival
Absolutely.
that they would love to beat. Who's your classic derby for Burger, the school that you would love to beat every year?
We've played a few games with Hoerskool Burger. It's in Vetpochi,
Okay.
side of Roodeport. Yeah, we've played a few with Pakis. We've played a few with Allen Clan, but our games with Pakis are always intense and very exhilarating. So it's one
Brilliant.
of those games. It's a must-win games, and the
Yes.
Adelar as well, and Addis. It's one of those must-win game, even if we are at our lowest or we have a lot of injuries. But it's one of those games that, hey, boys, let's go get them. Let's go
Yes.
break a leg. Let's do this. You
Yeah.
cannot. It's one of those games that we.
Wow.
I would say Hoerskool Theater and Florida
Okay.
Park and Parkis, of course, yeah. But mostly Hoerskool Theater.
Right.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
from a coaching perspective, what kind of rugby culture do you try to instill within your team?
The rugby culture that we instill in our team, usually amongst players, is playing for the team, playing for each other, and playing for self. And at all times, knowing that rugby must be the winner at the end of the game,
Yes.
regardless of the results that we might get. But rugby must be the winner, and sports must be a winner. So we encourage sportsmanship at all times.
Brilliant.
There will be rough tackles, there will be scraping there and there, especially in the ruck and mauls, choking each other and all that. It happens in rugby naturally and all that. But we always encourage sportsmanship to say, in the midst of all that frustration and all those tackles and all that, but rugby must rise above
Yes.
at the occasion, and rugby must be the winner at the
Yes.
end.
Yes.
100%. Right. Arno?
It seems to me that you've actually been, it seems to me that you've been involved in promoting rugby for some time now. Can you tell us
Yes,
that?
yes.
I believe, because I can hear from your motivation.
Yeah.
But how far have you increased the numbers? If I don't know if you want to give, but has it increased substantially? And what percentage of the school is now playing rugby, and what is the percentage you would like to see playing?
We're trying every time because almost every day I'm there by the school during break time. I usually target their break times
Yeah.
so that I encourage that, guys, come on, go come and join the most exciting sports in the school, which is rugby. So we started last year with a very few number, very low number, as we are starting to rebuild. And then this year we've seen an increase, but it is not where we would like to have, because we would have loved to have all the age groups represented. There's your under 14s, 15s, 17s, an open team. But for now, we are trying to get at least 3 teams: under 15s, under 17, under 19s, which will be our first and senior team. So
Yes.
we've
Okay.
managed to have at least enough manpower to have those teams with their reserves for now. And we would have wished to have at least maybe about 50 less percent of the school participating in rugby to make rugby big at Berg, about 50% of the school to be participating. We had ladies who have showed interest in rugby as well, of which we still trying to see how best we can incorporate. Either we do sevens with them, that is semi-contact, or we go full contact with them. So there are girls who have shown interest. So they do come. We do invite them to come have a ball with the boys as well, at the swing and all that of the ball. So encourage all genders to participate in rugby. And
Yes,
girls have tremendously show interest to come on board.
Brilliant.
Steve?
When is your first game for the season, and are you guys part of a league this year? I believe you said
Yes,
something
we
that.
have.
Okay.
Yes, we have registered for the league, the Rodiport League. We're still waiting for them to. They said mid-March. Our first
Okay.
games could be around the 15th, the week of the 15th. So we're waiting for them to send us the fixtures with all our games and all that, our homes and away games.
Brilliant.
Okay. Right. And just touching back on what you said on Arno's question, when Steve and I were at school, we used to play touch rugby during break time as well. So, and also because high school, the boys are interested in the girls are interested in the boys, and then they become
Yes,
couples and boyfriend and
absolutely.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because it's touch rugby, so we invited because the girls grow up in South Africa, so they know rugby, so they know the rules. So we
Yes,
invited them to always come and play touch rugby with us. And it's quite a bit
absolutely.
of fun. So maybe that's something you can try to do as well before do any contact. Just get them to get used to the game. Do touch rugby during because then everyone can participate.
Great time.
It's not going to be physical and no one will get injured.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for that point. I think it's a very profound thought and idea that would actually work to say, because there are boys who are very enthusiastic about even break time. You'd see them
Yeah.
play. They actually do play touch during their break. They actually sacrifice the half or three quarters of their break just running around with the rugby ball. That's what they do.
Absolutely.
And of course, the girls will be flanking them, will be around, just in front of this, not down in the fields, but there's an open space where they can run and play. They usually do that. Now that you've raised this idea, I think it's a brilliant idea to incorporate the girls as well. To say, okay, guys, because you're here to support your friends and all your mates and all that, how about you get a run as well, get a feel of the ball, and then they do touch. I think it's a very brilliant idea. Thank you for that.
All right. Arno.
Yes, I would. I know you've been maybe a couple of years now that you've seen this team, and but you've already started practicing this year, I suppose. So I wondered, can you see any aspects of the team which you think is very good and that you can build on the teams that you have at this stage? Specifically the under 19s one you talked about once. I'm talking about.
Yes. The under 19s, like I said, we started building last year. And last year, I think we didn't have much games, but of the games they had, there's a lot of potential and capability. Because I think of let's say of the 6 games they played, they managed to win about 3 of them. Drew one and then lost the other. But they've played teams that have been playing together throughout seasons. But in a short space of time, they managed to challenge and be competitive enough in those teams. So we've realized as coaches that there is a potential and capability that needs to be nurtured. Of course, we do have areas where we need to improve, like we don't have a natural fly that can kick. So we're working on that.
Okay.
We're working on our lineouts as well, on our hookers, and those are areas that we think we need to improve them, and our front row as well. We need to, because last year the guys that actually showed interest were not, the front row, the rankers. You need to really, especially if you're competing under 19 rugby. You get to see very huge guys when you go there, and
Yes.
I think those are the areas that we need to try and improve and motivate guys and get more guys to get into rugby.
Right. Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Fischhoek in the Western Cape, and I was at this primary school that was very small, and we were only about 300 people, so we only had about 2 to 3 teams. And I remember the coach always told us, because it was challenging. We won half of our games, we lost half of our games, so it was challenging at times, to keep the boys motivated. But our coach always told us that if you can walk off the field after full time and you can raise up your head and you know that you've played your best, you're a winner and you've done your job. How do you motivate your boys, in challenging times, let's say after a huge defeat? Because it happens. How do you manage to motivate them to keep going and to stay motivated and not to give up?
Yeah. Usually we use the to say, boys, keep your heads up. You've lost a game today, but you can always, this is an opportunity for us to learn, to go back to the drawing board, to say, how best can we improve? Which departments do we need to improve? The front row, the back row, where do we need to improve? Where did we? And then we allow the boys to actually critique themselves, to say how was their performance in the game. And then at least now, when they do introspection, it is easier for them to work to improve those kind of. But of course, we always motivate them to say, okay, guys, it's not just, to boys, it's not just a game. You can say it's just a game, but it's not just a game to them. They want to
Absolutely.
win. They
Of
just
course.
want to win all the time. They
Yeah.
just want to win all the time. But to tell them, guys, it was just not our day, but we can do better next time. Let's keep our heads up. Let's make sure that we reinforce the departments that we think that we're lacking in this particular game when we go back to training and to the gym, so that next game we know exactly how we're going to tackle it.
Awesome.
And just to get in line with what Steve asked you, when Steve didn't play that game, and we played against Kez, right? We were playing
Yes.
back then, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was captain, and we got a proper hiding, right? I think it was like
Sure.
47-0, and I went
Sure. I can
to the main
imagine.
field to go and watch my brother, and the headmaster came to me. He was actually on the way to our game, but he missed it. And he was like, "So did you play your game?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Was it a good game?" I said, "Yes." He said, "What was the score?" I said, 47-0. And he started smiling. I said, "For them." And he's like, "Just go, leave me alone." For us, it was just playing the game. And even though we lost, afterwards, the
Yeah.
guys came together. They asked us our war cry. They did the war cry with us. We did their war.
Yeah.
And all the guys said, and even the coach came and he said, "You guys played with heart, you played with passion, although you lost."
Yeah.
And he said, "We don't care. We just want to play at the end of the day."
Yes.
And you said, I think, like you said in the beginning, at the end of the day, rugby needs to win. And
Yes.
yes, for your first team, it is a bit more serious. But now, how do you get that balance of knowing that it is serious, but still to go and have fun at the end of it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think a game plan and strategy, as we're preparing for bigger games or any league games, in our practice sessions and our training, we always instill that, to say, guys, okay, it is a game that we're preparing for, but go there, have fun. But in the
Yes.
midst of fun, remember, we need to show We need to show what we've been doing in the gym. We're not going to go there and display a mediocre tactic and all that. Let's go there. Let's show what we are made of, but let's have fun in the midst of that.
Right.
And of course, we always encourage them to say, don't make unnecessary and risk tackle because you want to win at all costs. Tackles that may you know that may cost a serious injury to a player or to yourself.
Yes.
Always be cautious.
Yeah.
Of course, rugby is a physical game. You need to make those tackles, but don't make unnecessary. Go have fun and go break a leg. So we always try to motivate them to say, in the midst of fun, but but at the same time, we still need to display competitiveness. Go
Yes.
there and compete.
Right. Good. Adnan?
I just want to ask him, Mr. Masabala, if you had one wish for your team for this year, I've last time asked this to another team too. What would your team be for your school, for your rugby for this year?
My wish would be that if at least they can be competitive enough to finish, especially if the league comes out, to finish in a dignified position, and also for them to, if we can have an accolade or a trophy, that would be a bonus. But we're working towards that. That's our wish to see Hoerskool Burger rugby growing in numbers and actually making a difference in the school and community and being the which sport for everyone to join within the school and the community to say, that's the sport. Because I see the spirit, I see the passion, I see the unity, I see the display of character in the field. So we wish that rugby can become one of those sports in our community and our school.
Right. Steve?
Just from my side, I would like to wish you all the best for the season. As Schoolboy Rugby Bonanza, we are really planning to attend one or two of your games, maybe get a photo with your team and meet your players. And we are backing you behind the way to promote your school and the community and to put it on YouTube. So from our side and from my side, we would like to wish you all the best for the season.
Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Steve.
And I have a last question for you. Being a teacher myself as well. Now, you probably teach some of the boys in the classroom, right? Now, you go coach them on the field after school. Now, how do you do that different? Because I know in class you need to be disciplined, you need to be strict. Do you carry that over to the rugby field, or are you more laid back and like, okay, cool, if you make a mistake, fine, no worries?
Okay, actually, I think it's the other way around. In rugby, we become more strict and disciplined there because as a coach, you have a lot of room to do whatever. Remember now in class, you are limited. You have all these acts, your South African schools acts, your Bella Act, which just came with a moraine of rules and restrictions, especially when it comes to discipline and all that. Now, sports like rugby now helps you actually to reinforce discipline indirectly because now it's a consciousness of time, consciousness of being effective in what you do, consciousness of doing what you are asked to do, which alternatively now translate into class to say, you don't come late to class because once you come late into the gym, you give me a 20, either push-ups or whatever, but you know that there is a consequence.
Yes.
Unlike
Absolutely.
in class, especially in our communities. Unlike in class, if you come late now, Bella dictates that there isn't much room or resources or things that are given to, but you'll still do your classroom management. But in the field, you have more time actually to do that, so that when they come in class, they know what's going down and all that. So, hence I said that the rugby helps in actually in terms of discipline. and time management, time conscious, doing the task at hand. Like if you're asked the homework in class, you do that in rugby. If you're asked to do 20 push-ups, you do that without fail because you know if you do not, there are consequences and you might have to do more. You might have to do a jog around the field and all that. So it does bring that conscious, especially the disciplinary element. So it does
Right.
help. So we are able to balance the two, the class and of course in the rugby field as a coach, you are more fatherly and you are more open to mistakes, to adjust the mistake. Let's identify the mistakes. Whereas in class, you must push the syllabus, try to finish, especially as a math teacher, you must
Yes.
push the syllabus, try to finish on time and all that. In
Mm.
rugby, at least you have time to say, okay, guys, if we miss it this time, let's try improve next time. Let's do
Right.
it this way. Let's improve
Mm.
it this way and all that. So they do integrate. They two do integrate quite well and quite nicely.
Well, that's good. That's good. Right. And anything else from your side?
No, I just wanted to
Oh,
wish
just
you.
oh,
Sorry.
Go
No, you
on.
can speak.
yes. No, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to wish you your school all the best, and I hope that you become one of the best rugby schools here in Gauteng, eh?
Absolutely.
So that you get your
Absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Enno. Thank you so much. Thank you, Enno.
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you for your time. This was absolutely amazing. And
Yes.
we also want to ask you if you would mind if we would send you through the Facebook group, the YouTube. I've sent you a link for or the second edition of the magazine. So if you do not mind, I will send that through to you as well. You can join. It's no obligation.
Yeah.
And we
Absolutely, I'm down for it. I would,
are good.
it's a good,
Good.
yeah, that's a good opportunity. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a good
Good.
opportunity. Yeah.
No, this was really very good. And we want to monitor your journey. We will keep in contact and we definitely want to attend one or two of your games. We are not very far from you, so which will be quite easily done. So, and good luck with the season.
Thank you so much, Louis, for this opportunity and this
Definitely.
interview to express ourselves
Yes.
as a school, and thank you for so much for conducting, and thank you for your questions. They were eye-opening, they were empowering, and of course they were a learning curve as they bring a whole lot of thoughts now to say, oh, ooh, I never thought of this. Ooh,
Mm.
oh, I can implement this. So thank you for your wisdom, for your wise inputs and your impeccable discussions that we had. Thank you so much for this
Thank you very
opportunity.
much
Pleasure.
to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Goodbye. Thank you, Louis.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.